many of you are truly happy this morning? Awesome. Now, if you are not happy, don't feel bad. Just find one of those who raise up their hand, give them a hug, and maybe you can get contaminated by their happiness. Because happiness does that. It's very contagious. So let me define my target audience before we go on. Because ain't you guys told to do that? Always what? Identify your target audience, right? So here are two of my target audience. Number one, the folks who are not happy. I think that's pretty obvious, right? All right. Okay, so the second audience, this is a tricky one, okay? And these are the people that are happy most of the time. Now, if you fall in any of those two categories, pay attention. Because there is absolutely no reason for you to be happy most of the time and not be happy all of the time. Because I had the privilege of interviewing over 1,000 individuals on the subject of happiness in almost 20 different countries, face to face. And so I have data on happiness. And when people hear that I'm the chief happiness officer, they go, hey, I'm happy most of the time. I said, that's great. What about the times you are not happy? It can mess up your life. That's where I pay attention to. Because, see, I am changing the whole narrative. If you talk to psychologists, to psychiatrists, to counselors, and all of those people, they will tell you that happiness is an emotion. And they will be right. But after talking to over 1,000 people, I find out you are in terrible shape if you just rely on happiness as an emotion. Because you will go through emotional roller coaster. You will be happy when things are good. Like right now. You guys are happy right now. You're in leadership experience tour. You're doing what you want to do. I want to know how you will feel when you get to the airport and you miss your flight. Does it wipe out all of this that quickly? It shouldn't. That's where I come in. It's to change the narrative from happiness as an emotion to happiness as a skill. As a matter of fact, after 10 years of working with elementary school, middle school, high school, colleges, and corporate boardroom, I've come to the conclusion that happiness is not just a skill, but it's a learnable skill. Any single human being can learn to be happy. People come to me, Edwin, are you really happy all the time? And I say, yes. And I'll tell you why in a little bit, but I'll keep that to the end, okay? But I am. I'm happy all the time. And I joke about this, but I'm also serious. You know, you guys ask me how I am. Ask me, go ahead. I am happy. That's all I say. I tell people, if I wake up in the morning and I don't feel like the next person I meet asks me how I am and I cannot say I am happy, I go back to bed. I'm not ready for the day. I don't want to go mess up somebody else. Definitely, I don't want to mess me up. I don't want to screw up my track record. And I want to be true to myself. Some people say, oh, he's pretending. Guess what? If you pretend doing something for like 10 years, that's who you are. So I'm going to share a few skills with you. But here is what I want you to pay a particular attention to. These are skills that are better learned and practiced when you are still happy. Don't wait till you are unhappy. You can still learn it, but it's much more difficult because your mind will be playing games with you. It's one of those things that is better to have and don't need than to need and you don't have. So pay attention. How many of you have bought a car? Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Okay, wait. I know you guys say, this guy always laughing. So I'm going to do a quick exercise. I host the worldwide networking event every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, right? Okay, yeah, thank you. Diamond is in the house. You guys got to pay attention to her. So I said, what can I do to spice this up? We are the Happy Neighborhood Project. We can just do networking like everybody else. And so every halftime show, we laugh for 30 seconds. And when the people are new, they think these people are weird. And you will be correct. But by the time you finish, you are laughing just like we are. So I got some time. So guess what? Everybody get up. And we are going to laugh together for 30 seconds. And I'm watching the time. Okay? And that 30 seconds starts now. All right, give yourself a round of applause. Awesome. Okay, you may be seated, okay? Now, I know you guys have heard of the cliche that laughter is the best medicine, right? But you just think it's a cliche. From today on, folks, I want you to treat it more seriously. I want you to treat it like you were healed and you went to the doctor and the doctor said, take this 3 times a day and see me in the morning. You should be able to laugh for absolute no reason at all. Now, here is the beautiful part about that. When you practice it, when you are in the happy mode, when life throws you a curveball, you still be laughing without even knowing what's going on. And guess what? And this is actually backed by research, okay, social research, that you are more resilient, you are more creative, you are more productive when you are happy than when you are not. And so let me ask you this. If life throws you a curveball, would you want to stay unhappy or would you want to switch to happiness very quickly? You have to be able to do that because you cannot solve that problem when you are unhappy. It's just more difficult. So I'm going to give you 3 quick tips as my time starts going down. How many of you have bought a brand new car? All right? Have you maybe even used car, but it doesn't apply too much to used car. Brand new car. I was fortunate. I was in my 20s, and I went into a dealer showroom and bought me a brand new Jaguar. You come in, it's like you're on top of the world. And how many of you know that you don't even hear the engine when it's driving? So we test drive cars, right? How many of you would love to test drive your future? Think about that. Because sometimes you might be working really hard, and then you get there, and it's like, it's not what you think it is. That's not cool. Not when you work so hard. And a lot of that happened in Hollywood. I know, I'm from California. They bust their behind, and then they get there. They go, what? That's it? And then they start relying on drugs to pretend that it's not it. No, drug will not change it, it is. So I want to show you a simple strategy. It's called dreaming. How many of you like to dream? Now, once you say dreaming, people are thinking daydreaming. And to be honest with you, there's nothing really bad with daydreaming. It has a bad rap, but it's cool. So I want to take you on a little dreaming, okay? Let's say you got to Detroit, and you get to the airport, and you took a flight to Johannesburg. How many of you know where that is? Johannesburg, yeah, it's in South Africa, right? And you land, and you get a limousine or a bus, whatever way, and you drive all the way to Cape Town. And then maybe you drive another half an hour to the Cape of Good Hope. And then you climb a little hill, and then you go down a little hill, and then you sit down in a body of water, and your right leg is on the Indian Ocean, and your left leg is on the Atlantic Ocean. And you can feel the water slightly different. How many of you would like to go on that trip? Yeah. Folks, you know you can do that in your dream? Now, I've actually been there, and they tell you don't feed the bamboos, okay? They're nice, but don't feed them, okay? Just don't. But you can do that in your dream. And yes, your dream can take you there. Now, these days, because of Google and YouTube and all of this stuff, you can actually go online and research your experience. And you can say, wait a second, that's not cut out to what it is. I don't really like that. And you change it. You change your future like that. Folks, dreaming can change your environment without you even living where you are. You can test drive your future, and you can enjoy it. You know, I'm a pilot by hobby now, right? Do you know when the Wright brothers were learning to fly, and they were trying things, and they were risking their life, they were crashing the planes? If they have a simulator back then, they would not crash as many planes. They would just go into the computer and say, that weather is not good. Get out of there. You can test drive your future by a little dreaming. Folks, I'm going to leave you with this real quickly. Yesterday night, I love lighthouses, so I took some of my folks. We go to the lighthouse, and then we get there, and then and then it was a very small lighthouse. Okay, we were not disappointed, but we went to a bigger lighthouse, and we couldn't find it, and we were hungry. And somebody said, hey, let's go for Chinese food. And so there was a 15-minute Chinese food from where we were, but they closed in 30 minutes. And Claudette goes, there's a Chinese food in Canada. It's 20 minutes. So we went to Canada, and we had Chinese food, and we came back. So learn to be spontaneous. I am Edwin Edebiri, Chief Happiness Officer. I invite each and every one of you to join us every week. We host over 40 different events where you can meet like-minded people from the comfort of your own home or your own office on Zoom. You go to happyneighborhoodproject.com. To reach me, Edwin Edebiri, in one word, on all social media. Thank you so very much, and you stay happy.